Hey, what's going on? Today we will be doing a role play here with ChatGPT's voice feature. It's the free version, but I want to show you what you can do when you're talking to a prospect and they're not opening up, they're being short with you, they're not really elaborating on their answers. They're most likely very skeptical, or they feel like they don't really respect you because they see you maybe as a sales rep, or there's just something there where again they just their sales resistance is really up. So first things first, go over to ChatGPT. Okay, we're going to share sound here, and then you're going to prompt it. So you're going to prompt it by saying, hey, let's do a role play where you're a very skeptical prospect. Okay, so this is the prompt, something like this. Okay, so now we let it cook. Let's just go with just one's a little bit longer. Okay, so makes sense. Very short, skeptical, condescending, control. I will make it impossible or be a troll if you ask. Here's the thing, right? If you ask good questions and don't get needy, I'll gradually give you more to work with. Setting, I booked a call to learn about your coaching, but I'm already assuming it's probably see, yeah, a lot of the prospects may come in. It's like, yeah, I saw an ad and like I don't know, I just like what is it? Like how does it work? They're not listening, they're not watching the things we're sending over, they're not doing the work. And so this is where a lot of that resistance comes in because they want you to kind of like do the front loading, the heavy lifting for them because they're not even really getting in there. Now, look, some of you may be saying, yeah, but that customer's a pain in the ass. Yeah, but that type of client, do I really want to work with him or not? Sure, but also, let's be honest, like, are you already making 50K months? Are you already making 100K months? If not, then, hey, I'm not going to say beggars can't be choosers, but hey, you got to just be a little bit more skilled to open somebody up. And of course, at the end of the day, if you do open them up and their guard does go down and they're gradually giving you more and more and more, and then if you realize, yeah, you know what, based on everything you're sharing, I can absolutely help you, but I don't think we would just work well together for one reason or the other. So at this point, I'll send you a couple of people your way in terms of people that can help you with this. But for now, I think we're good to go. So you could even still at the end pull the plug, and then you might be saying, yeah, but then I'm wasting my time. Not really. Again, unless you're already making 30, 40, 50K months or more, you can use these as practice. You can use these as a way to expand your network and also to show yourself like you got what it takes to deal with any type of client. So let's go into the voice role play here, right? All right, so let's dive in. Let's say I open up the Zoom conversation, and again, you're playing that
Mhm.
prospect who essentially wants me to get to the pricing. So I'll open up by saying, "All right, hey John, it's Luis here. Excited to connect. How you doing today?"
Doing fine. Kind of busy. So yeah, like I said, can we get to the pricing? I'm not really into a whole song and dance pitch.
Yeah, I hear you, John. Absolutely. And look, neither am I. I'm a straight shooter, and I ultimately want to just get clear on like where you're at. Because of course we don't have a one size fits all, and because you don't want to waste time and I don't want to waste time, I don't want to just like pitch some random thing because we have several things here that could support you. So is it
Hmm.
cool with you? Can I just ask you a couple questions to get just a big picture of where you're at and how we can help?
Mm, fine, but quick. Make it quick.
Sure, man, no worries at all. Well, first and foremost, tell me a little bit more. Ultimately, what's the goal? What are you looking to accomplish as we step in and help you grow the business and expand? Like, where do you want to get to in terms of your monthly revenues?
Ooh. Uh, I mean, more obviously. Like that's the point, right? Um, you,
Absolutely.
you
So
know,
when you say more, just to see the scale that you're currently working at, like where are you at now in terms of your monthly revenues and where do you want to get to? Are we talking about a 1x, 2x, or 1.5x, 2x, 3x? Like what are we talking about?
I'd say I don't know, like more. Like I don't want to quantify it right now.
Sure, no, that's fair enough. Okay, well, look, if you're growing a business and you're already doing 100K per month, it's going to be very different for us to step in if you're doing 5K a month. So where are you at right now in terms of like your monthly revenues, just to see what the starting point is, to see how we can help.
Okay, we are at between 18 and 22K a month, roughly.
Okay, and is that gross or is that net profit?
Net.
That's net profit. Okay, gotcha. And so then ultimately, we'll call it about 20K average, right? We'll just say 20K average. When you look at the next 6 months, as somebody comes in and helps you grow the business, grow the marketing, where do you want to get to realistically? Because some people don't necessarily want a bigger operation. They're comfortable reaching, I don't know, a 50K month versus like this whole thing where, they have a whole team behind them. But what's that next goal? Is that you want to get to then, 30K months, 40K months? Like what's something that's realistic, but also can excite you to actually dedicate time and energy to a project like that?
Okay, like this is exactly where I get wary. Like every coach says they'll get me to some magic multiple. I've heard that song before.
I understand. And so that's the goal here. Look, if you're looking to grow, 5x over the next 6 months, I'm gonna tell you right now, like, you know what, we're not your people. Because also we want to be realistic and pragmatic. But I heard you. So tell me more about, first of all, how long have you been looking to get some support with this, but it just hasn't really worked? Is it few months, few years? Like what's really going on?
I guess it's been in the back of my mind for about a year. I've had bad experiences, like big promises, then nothing tangible.
They haven't been tangible. Tell me more about what that means specifically.
Like fluffy strategy calls, decks with no follow through, no operational help, you know?
Okay, I see. So for clarity, so over the last year, so like you've hired individuals or you've still been kind of looking like what actually have you tried to grow the business?
Few freelancers, but they were hit or miss, mostly miss.
Oh, I see. So yeah, so you were working with like that solopreneur who's probably just like, working out of his mom's basement or whatever, like these freelancers. Is that what I'm hearing or?
I mean, well, not literally, maybe metaphorically. It just felt like I didn't really get the professionalism I was hoping for.
That's right. Absolutely. And so, just so that we're on the same page, beyond just professionalism, what were some of the things that you were looking for that they didn't deliver on, just to see how we can match with that?
Execution, deadlines, clear numbers, just deliverables, not vibes.
Okay, got you. We would even say you just needed clarity, like what's the next step? By when are we going to hit it? Who owns it? What do you need from me as the founder to deliver on that? And then are we on track to hitting our goals? If not, then what's getting in the way? Is that generally what you're saying?
Yeah, that's a lot closer to useful.
Okay, excellent. So just to be on the same page, because look, I get it, man. Some people come to us and they're like, honestly, like I'm so burnt and tired of all of this that I'm even thinking about giving up this business and just maybe leaving it as it is and handing it off and then moving off to something different. But I guess is that your situation, or if I'm hearing you correctly, once you find somebody who gives you that clarity in the execution and like the communication piece you're looking for, you'd most likely move forward with that type of organization that has that level of professionalism.
Yeah, that. If you're straight about what you can and can't do, and I don't feel like I'm being sold to, then yeah, I'd listen.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. So then at this stage, you're doing about 20K per month on average, and that's net profit. Remind me, so ultimately, um, well, actually, first before I get it, because I was gonna get into maybe some of the things that you want to work on. So the other piece is also like from your perspective, what do you feel is still missing from your end? Is it maybe a skill set gap? Is it also a bit of a mindset gap where people tell me, well, I've felt overwhelmed with all this, or I'm a bit afraid to reinvest in terms of the economy or all these things that are going on. Like, what do you feel is really the thing that might keep you from figuring this whole thing out on yourself? Is it just the skill set that we talked about, or is it also maybe a bit of mindset?
Uh, honestly, both. I get in my head and I probably underdelegate.
Tell me more about that. What do you mean by you under delegate?
I hold on to things too long because I don't trust others to execute cleanly. And then I stretch myself thin and then, yeah, it
Yeah,
bottlenecks.
I hear you. Just to be clear and on the same page, what have been some of the biggest like costs or consequences that you've seen because of that?
Burnout, delays, and missed opportunities. Like
Yeah.
not not jumping on things when the timing was right
Mm-hmm.
because I was too busy putting out fires.
Yeah, too busy putting out fires, but also I heard you there in terms of like maybe not letting go and moving forward, and you were kind of keeping yourself back from the true growth that you wanted. So ultimately, just so that again, there's a lot of clarity here, what happens if you end up running that same play and operating at the same level, what would then you essentially miss out on? What would happen?
Probably more stagnation, more stress, maybe seeding out sooner than I want.
That's right.
That
Yeah. Yeah. And look, I know we're starting to get to know each other here, but John, I gotta ask, and I think I know the answer, but is is that something you're willing to settle for?
no,
And why
no,
not
I'm
though?
not because I want to build something that doesn't eat me alive. That's the point.
Tell me more about what you mean by that.
Like growth with systems and not just me grinding harder.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I don't want to make assumptions, but it sounds like maybe you have a life outside of the business. Do you have family, children, hobbies, or just for clarity, what does that look like?
I do, family mostly, and I want more presence there.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me more about your family. I mean, I have a son and a wife, so I fully understand where you're coming from. You want to build something that's scalable and systematic. So I guess what's going on your end?
My son's 7. I'd like to be more present, you know, not just tired and distracted all the time.
Right, right. Well, if I can ask you a personal question, I guess, did something happen recently, John, that might have caused you to say, you know what, I need to figure this out. I need to get some help, or kind of like why explore this now, though?
Yeah, a, a close call health wise a while ago, not gone into here, but it rattled me.
It rattled you, I guess. Like how so?
It made everything feel more urgent and more fragile.
Ah, I see. I see. Yeah, man, because when you look at it and when you really zoom out, what would you say is your big why? I'm sure it's not just to, hoard the money in a bank account. It's to, put yourself in a better position health-wise, family-wise, and otherwise. But what would you categorize that at, man? As like, is it like, what's your big why?
Legacy and being present, not just revenue.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and so what I'm hearing you say is like as you continue to grow the business, it's definitely about the revenues, which by the way, what would feel comfortable and good in terms of like a revenue level where you're not overextended in terms of your time and commitments? Is it like that 40, 50K month, or do you want to take this all the way up to 100K months? Again, like not saying we're gonna do that, just to get a better lens of what the scope is.
40 to 50K feels ambitious but sane if systems are actually in place.
Okay. Okay, there you go. Yeah, especially because look, what I'm gathering is you've been thinking about this for a year. You've, worked with some freelancers that weren't even professional or what you really needed. It sounds like you need something that's more based on deliverable, something that's again professional. It's going to be very clear on where we're at. And you're opening, willing to invest in your growth because obviously you want to do this to reach those 40K months. But the big why, which I love the most, is it's for your family, it's for your legacy, right? It's for being present and not being like, you know, stretched too thin when it comes to the business. So you want to grow systematically. So with that said, yeah, I mean, the biggest thing here, and I see it clearly, it sounds like you're ready to kind of draw a line in the sand because of the health situation as well, and ultimately really commit to this growth, this project, or like, how do you feel?
Yeah, if it's grounded and actually doable, then yeah, I'm ready to commit.
Okay, fair enough. Is there anything else before I share? I do have a lot of ideas, but is there anything else you feel I should know about your situation that maybe we haven't talked about yet? I know sometimes people have travel coming up or other big projects looming in the background that may keep them from moving forward, although I hear your commitment, but is there anything else we should know?
Just that when things pile up, I can get avoidant.
Mm, I hear you.
Deadlines, accountability help keep me honest.
Okay, so accountability is going to be a big piece. Yeah, I could definitely take note of that and show you how we do that. And then also the other big thing that I really want to just honor you for a second is the fact that you have clarity and self-awareness around like, hey, I have to stop holding myself back. I have to stop like overly trying to, I don't know, control is the best way to put it, but like, I gotta let go sometimes so that way things start to flow. And so that's going to be a part of it as well. Just being coachable, raising your hand whenever you do feel like you need a little bit more help and support, and then just letting us know what you need is going to be that two-way street that's going to really help a project like this. But is that all fair enough?
Yeah, feels fair.
Okay,
Straightforward,
wonderful.
no
Okay,
fluff.
so let's stop the role play there,
Hmm.
and I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. So, of course, that was a made-up scenario. Like, there really isn't a business coaching offer there or anything like that. But it just goes to show like that's not even one of the main things that I'm doing right now in terms of how I'm supporting people. But just by knowing the structure of where are we at on the call, understanding their vision, understanding what's been getting in the way of the vision, understanding what they really want and need, what's missing, getting into what is this really all about, getting into how is it impacting them, like all of these pieces. Again, this is not some perfect sales conversation that I want you to like pick apart, but I want you to see how it's the first part. It's just knowing how to take that conversation, hold the frame, being comfortable, being poised, being calm, and just letting them know, hey, I totally get where you're coming from. And also, I'm here to help you grow if you let me ask a few questions. If they're like, no, just tell me like what it is. Again, reassuring them, I totally get where you're coming from. But also we have like many different ways we can support you. So again, are you okay with me asking just a bit more about what's really going on to see if we can even help? And again, if they then just give you pushback, like just tell me like what it is, that's when you can like kind of level with them. It's like, hey, I totally get it. I guess it just seems like maybe you've been burnt before, and I hear you're very skeptical, and I hear how you are just trying to get to the price. I can give you some ranges, but before we get into that, just to be clear, like I guess, am I am I mistaken there, or have you been kind of burnt in the past? That is usually going to open up the can of worms because that's the pain. They're mostly like, yeah, all you guys are the same. Like, all you guys just want the money and you don't deliver. Don't take it personal. Again, just like essentially agree with them and understand them. No, I totally hear where you're coming from. And honestly, yeah, like there's a lot of people out there that just should not be selling, right? Or should not be offering the services that you're looking for. But I guess what are you looking for? Now we're in it. Like, what are you looking for? What hasn't been there? What do you need? What do you want? Just to see how we can help, just to see if we can refer you. So you're kind of like that quarterback where like you have the ball and the ball are these questions where you need to see like where do I want to throw it? Like give me the ball, give me the question, and I'm gonna figure out where is that gonna go, and make sure the ball gets there. Because if you just throw it randomly and like you're not gonna make progress. So you have to look at what are these targets, right? And sometimes again, it's just that football metaphor, American football, just being in that pocket and trusting that like with your space, with your energy, you're able to just direct the conversation and just let them know, hey, I'm just really trying to get to understand you. And it just so happens to be like today I'm here at my home office, and obviously this is like a Zoom background. But some of these little elements like a Zoom background, a microphone, even like a shirt. I mean, you don't have to do all that. Like I'm married, and like, certain little things like that can show without saying like, hey, I'm really here to help you grow, and I'm not just some like kid in a fucking basement that is calling himself a business owner, right? Like we're here, we have a full operation, we've been able to help X, Y, and Z, and we could possibly do the same for you. So that's the vibe. Like, hey, I'm also not gonna get defensive. I'm also not gonna get like taking it personal and like, well, honestly, like if you're not looking for help, then all good, man. Like I've seen that too, and that can help to just maybe move on to the next lead. But as you saw, obviously it was a role play with a freaking AI, but he came on pretty strong. Hey, just tell me what it is. And a couple times he gave pushback, but it's just kind of like, hey, no, I totally get it. I just need to really understand where you're coming from. Or, hey, I totally get it, but I just need to know where you're at exactly. Or, hey, totally fair, totally fine. It seems like there's a lot of resistance and you're very skeptical, which is totally normal. But I guess, have you been really burnt in the past? And that usually, again, is going to open up the can of worms. So give that a try. Let me know how we can help here on the sales side, sales leadership, sales management side, and happy to take a look at your business to see how we can support.